Holy snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bump and Run Book could join us.
I'm excited for another great show tonight. Give it the hoot nanny.
Hey everyone, welcome on the trackside with Kokpit. Thanks to Vasey Engineering Supplies Limited, also TWS Technical Welding Services, to Paul and Lala. Appreciate your support with our show every Wednesday, 7:30. We are back again as we count down. Now, No Way Nota will let us know how many days and nights to go before we get the dirt in our face and get to have a Speedway hot dog. My good friend Books joins me back again. Hey Books, how are you, mate?
Oh, I'm not doing too bad in the beautiful Hawke's Bay. Been a bit cold, but yeah, other than that, it's been good. We had our annual prize given in Waipawa on Saturday night for our online racing side of it. And I got another trophy. Look at that.
Yeah.
Won the DWD Superstock Series and the Grand Slam part of it as well. You know, just cleaned it up. That's what I do. No, I was just lucky. And, so I thought I'd display both my trophies. One's mine and one's ours.
Yeah.
Kins doesn't display our other trophy, people. He's not as proud of it as I am.
It's in the lounge, actually. It's in the lounge next to my other ones. It's in the lounge. Yeah.
Oh, you got all our stuff in the lounge now? Oh.
Yeah, all of our stuff. So I've got a special thing in the corner of the lounge where it's nice and warm and that, and all the whānau rock eyes. Who's a chair? Whose are those, mate? And it's, there's mine. And my mate Booker's, yeah. Oh, it's all good. Proud moments, bro. Proud moments. And we caught up with the two people who were going to join us tonight 3 weeks ago at the SNZ AGM End Awards for both of them as well. And I see there's a lot of comments, and I'm glad to hear that a lot of people enjoyed the full-on show last Wednesday with Blendy. Brendan joined us to tell you all about Payla Games too, and there was a slight little update the other morning, so hopefully you enjoyed it. I know I saw in the comment there a few of the people are enjoying the game as well. I did see one in there from Aaron Ferguson going on about a wicked game, the Superstock game, so I hope you're having fun.
Yeah, it is. It's been good here, the update, although I've got to send him a message, I think, because with the update now, you turn the music off, and every time you start it up, the music comes back on, and I don't know why we need music on games, but anyway. That drives me insane. So I'll send Ben. I was talking to him yesterday actually because I was talking with Lani, our Speedway president, and she was going on about the game to me as well. So he was quite stoked to hear that they knew about it as well. But yeah, it's good. It's a good part for off season for everyone. I see everyone's doing it. Our mate Mental was already just about got every trophy. I said, don't you do any work, man? You know, like shit. I only really get on it when I'm in the, like I said last week. But,
when you're sitting on the toilet,
when I'm sitting on the toilet, and that's my time to play mobile games. But yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, there's not much being else happen. I just want to say, sad day when I woke up this morning and read the King of Darkness, old Ozzy Osbourne, had passed and gone. He got to do his main concert. His last ever concert. I bet you, how special would those people feel, Kins, that got to go and watch that, and knowing that was what, only a month or so ago, I think, or not even that, but
yeah.
Wow, that guy, I grew up listening to Ozzy.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was a bit of a shock this morning, only 76, and to hear all that news. And if you go way back to the early years of a rock and roller as he was, Black Sabbath days, and everyone knows all that stuff, then he went on, and there was the big TV program, the Osbournes, which everyone knew about. And
his kids were out the gate.
Oh, yeah, there was always Kelly and Jack, but I don't know, people realize there was another daughter called Amy as well from his previous marriage and everything like that. But yeah, the guy that brought so much, I tell you what, he was a damn good singer.
Oh,
honestly, he was a real good singer.
Well, you would see it all. You've been in radio for how many years now, Kins? As a morning show and whatnot, and you would have seen all that. So, yeah, it was a bit sad this morning. I see the Facebook is filled up with all that sort of stuff, which is interesting. I mean, I don't normally see what else Facebook fills up with. I normally rely on you to tell me that anyway. So, but yeah, it's good to see more calendars have come out for the season. More people putting their calendars out so we can all make plans. But yeah, they are getting in early, all trying to get their own dates first. And yeah, it'll be an interesting season ahead, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think I saw someone put in there 92 days counting down. So whether that was Dave Thomas or our good friend Wayne Norton. Dave, too, happy birthday to you, mate. I know it's your birthday today. You can't hide away from Facebook. You're right, Wayne Norton. Good to see the big G. Jerry Linklater and the update on that, the video that's all been released of him getting back on his feet as well. And only Am's pancakes right now. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Hey, Carl Carpenter, how you going, mate? But we better get into it, eh, mate? And what's happened here? What have I done
What are you
here,
doing?
mate?
You just...
I don't know. Is that what I'm doing? Is that what I'm doing?
I don't know what you're doing, mate. I can't keep up. You just sort of hit buttons before I even know what's happening.
You're too with it to fix it up. But
You want me
anyway,
to fix that.
yeah, fix that up. We go to the bottom and there we go. That's a bit of difference. That makes it look quite special, eh?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Having a bloody tutu. But there you go. That's who we're going to bring in right now. I think he's sitting in the background. Where is he? Boom, boom.
There we go.
George.
How's it going, fellas?
Good, mate. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Sweetie. So now you got you on here. I'll get you to grab your little mobile device and flick it around that way for me,
Yeah,
please.
sweet.
And
No
then
worries. How's
all
that?
the fans can. That's the one.
Oh,
Perfect. So first and foremost, as everyone saw what you achieved and what you won 3 weeks ago, mate, that's just a small smidgen of what you won. But how's life been since 3 weeks and winning the overall competitor of the year with the huge announcement that held at the end of the night at the recent SNZ Awards?
yeah, it's been great, thanks. It's been busy, just working, preparing for the season ahead. I'm still just trying to take it all in, to be honest. So, it was good to get away and go up to the awards, and it was the last thing I would have expected to be awarded that as well. So very honoured and pleased to get that, and really appreciative that the bikes were recognised as well. It was a good night for not only myself but the junior riders and the sidecars and just bikes as a whole. So no, it was really good and cool to catch up with everyone. There was quite a few people that travelled up from my club from Moore Park and Already Park Speedway. So, and just to catch up with everyone else in Auckland was great.
Yeah, that's something new that Booker and I actually attend the first time ever A-Books we've been to in awards because we were finalists, but we also went to the AGM. But, mate, the bikes pretty well in the bike track dominated A-Books. They pretty well represented, but also up on the stage when they received the awards. That was a real good evening for the bikes.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, like it was. I mean, like I like all classes, as you know, and I rode bikes before I drove cars, so and watched all the bikes everywhere. So, but yeah, for like I was going to ask you though, George, like you're sitting there, like I know the feeling too, how we felt. Like we're sitting there, your name gets called out as being a finalist, and you sit there, and I'm sitting there thinking, oh, we ain't going to get this, I don't know what you were thinking, but that feeling when they call your name out, what was it like for you? For me, I was like, for the first one, I got a bit emotional, and I'm an old school guy, we don't get emotional, we don't talk about our feelings, and it was quite surreal for me. What was it like for you when they called you out as the like first of all you got solo competitor of the year, but when they called out the New Zealand SNZ competitor of the year, how did that make you feel, mate? What was going through your mind when it happened? Like you must, explain that to us.
Mate, as you say, like I was sitting there and it's the last thing I would have thought I would have been up for. I was, just sitting there taking it all in, and I was watching the screen, and I seen obviously there was a photo of all the the competitors that have got the competitor of the year or the finalists, and I seen a wee shot of myself, and I still didn't really think too much of it. I thought, oh yeah, that's cool to be nominated or whatever, recognised. And when they called out my name, I was just like blown away. Honestly, I couldn't believe it. It was like, really? And I was just like far out, and wandered up there, and I was just like, as I say, I couldn't believe it. It was really cool to be acknowledged for the achievements. I think we worked really hard throughout the season, and it was hard to gather a speech. Like I think you got so many people you want to thank, and you really appreciate it. But it was like I honestly was speechless. It was like it was cool. It was the last award at all that I would have thought that I was going to get. So it was really cool. It was well worth going up, and it was just a great night all around. It was really cool.
Yeah, because you're up against some big category competitors as
correct.
well, you know, that deserve to be in that category for the overall competitor of the year. There were some big class names in there, and mate, yeah, I don't know how you felt. Like when we got our second award, I let my poor mate still sitting in the chair. I was ready to get up on the stage and celebrate.
He was gone.
I was gone. I forgot about it. I was like, yeah. But yeah, it was, yeah, well done. It blew us away because we looked at everyone they were announcing. I was like, oh, yeah, okay. Then your name popped out. I was like, what? Holy shit, where'd this come from?
Yeah.
And I think it was the biggest cheer of the night, to be fair, too. I
Yes.
think everybody appreciated what you'd achieved.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I actually spoke to a few of the other competitors on the night, and you know, some SNZ people that are part of the board and the committee, and heaps of officials, and like they were all, you know, really supportive and like, you know, really genuine to talk to. And it, as I say, like I'm a massive supporter of the cars and like all the classes as well. So in my opinion, I thought, oh, it's going to go to this guy or this guy. I won't name names, but you know, to be given that award, it was very special. It was overwhelming.
Yeah.
Well, should we just go through, like, I mean, like, to be fair, let's talk about it. So the New Zealand's, you got second.
Yep.
Took out the GP, took out the North Islands, took out the South Islands. I mean, that's a pretty, I mean, when you're on the podium with all of them, and the only one you didn't get right for top at, bridesmaid 2 years in a row, by the way. You better make that right next year, George, you know. Hey? But I mean, just what you've achieved there alone. I mean, if we go back through your history, you know, you were one NZ 22-23 season, two NZ 23-24, two NZ 24-25. You've got second at GP in the 2021 season, and then first the GP for 23 to right through the 25 season. So, and South Islands, you were 19 and 20 seasons, 22-23 seasons, 24-25 seasons. Mate, just that alone in your career, and you're not that old, to achieve what you've achieved there, it just shows how deserving you really were to get that Speedway Competitor of the Year award, mate, in my opinion.
Yeah, thank you both very much. I do really appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, we worked really hard throughout the season. It was a goal of mine to try and retain the titles that I had, and you know, I really wanted to win that New Zealand title back. So we worked hard in a number of ways with fitness, and you know, really got stuck in there, and you know, preparation with the bikes, and I thought I'd done everything right, and the season was going really well, and I mean, it did end up very well, but you know, just talking about the New Zealand title for a minute, that was probably a little bit disheartening, and I think everyone goes through that throughout Speedway. It's just part of it. But you know, I went throughout the meeting and thought that I was feeling good, had the right setup, had some good people around me, and got to the final, and I made the start, and I was leading into the second lap, and the heat prior to that, I actually broke the track record, and in the final, I didn't change anything. You know, I sort of scratched my head and thought, should I do this? Should I do that? I thought, no, it's worked throughout the day. I'll stick with this, and made a reasonable start and was leading. And then I was chasing a dirt line, which I thought was there from the previous heat, and it wasn't. And Ben come underneath me and just made a really smart move and a great pass. And credit to him, he deserved to win it. And as soon as I seen him get his wheels in line and take off, I thought, shit, this is it. Like, I tried everything going into turn 3, chasing him back, and I just couldn't get him. So he fully deserved to win it. And I walked away from that meeting a little bit disheartened, and I thought I did everything I possibly could to try and prepare for it and do everything right, and I went the extra mile, and it didn't work out, and that's Speedway. So to finish the season on a high and to win some other of those bigger meetings, and you know, for the Speedway Awards to get those awards was, you know, quite humbling, and it sort of gave me that motivation again for next season to crack on and have another go.
So your calendar race season then, George, is it very similar to the current Speedway season, starts in your October through to now March, April? How does it work, or does it work different for you being an NZ solo rider?
No, it's basically the same as the cars calendar. Yeah, we start sort of early October and then run through to March, April. Yeah, it's basically the same. I think they work it in with Ruapuna and the car tracks up north as well, and Riverside down south, just to, you know, for the spectators' sake, like if people want to go to both meetings, they sort of try and work around each other. But yeah, that's basically it. So funnily enough, all the championship meetings seem to sort of start between December and January. Well, they have for the last couple of seasons. So you don't have an awful lot of time to get dialed in to get, prepared for those meetings. But in a way, it's good. You're straight into it. You knock all those meetings out, and then if you want to travel north and south for the lower tier meetings or the club meetings as such, then it's all good. You've got the time to do it. So no, it works out pretty good.
Are you? Oh, sorry, kids.
No, go book.
Are you planning to go overseas or anything like that in the near future? Or I see you race back in the UK there. That must have been a hell of an experience for you.
Mate, it's a tough one, eh? I'd love to. I spent 2 seasons there. This was going back a couple of seasons now. Had a great time, but the first season I really struggled for a number of reasons. I probably wasn't up to it, and that I was well aware that it was obviously going to be a challenge, and there's a number of things I probably could have done differently. But I went back the following season and felt like I progressed. I was in a different league. I was actually in a lower league. So the first season I started in the 2nd division in British League. The second season I went back and rode in the 3rd division. Yes, I'd like to go back, but in terms of the financial side of it, it's just, in my opinion, and this is me, maybe I'm wrong, it's just too much of a risk to go back and have a go and it not work out. Also, after the last season I had in England, the league that I rode in, they've changed the rules. It's constantly changing. I can no longer ride in that league, so I'd have to sort of go back and train and get recognised to get a team spot, which is a risk, as I'm saying. Or potentially go to Australia and ride there to get granted like a visa or elite sports person's visa. So for now, I'm just going to stay put here. I'm enjoying my racing here. I'm still thinking about it a lot of the time, but it's just a big gamble in my opinion.
So with your racing here on the New Zealand calendar, are you travelling quite extensively? Like there's a couple of tracks up in the north, obviously. How does the travel work for you on a weekend basis when you get back into your season, like you said, from October to early April? Are you on the road quite a bit, or are you chasing the tracks to get some lap times, or you pretty well base yourself and stay down locally where you are?
Unfortunately now, we're not travelling as much as, the guys were going back 10 years ago. So there's only 3 bike tracks in the country for solos and for sidecar. Well, sidecars run on the clay, so solos, but so we got Rosebank in Auckland, and then Moore Park in Christchurch where I'm based, and then Areti Park Speedway in Invercargill. So we do quite a lot of travelling between Christchurch and Invercargill. Do like the majority of the meetings down there, like the bigger meetings, or even at the start of the season to try and get dialed in. Rosebank, not so much. I to be fair, I only went up for the North Island title last season, but and it sort of depends on where the championships are, because they rotate. So you've got like the bigger meetings, as we've spoken about, like the New Zealand title, the Grand Prix, the South Islands and the North Islands. It rotates between those 3 tracks other than the South Island title. So those, for this season, I think Rosebank Speedway, they've got the North Islands there again, and then they've got the GP. So that'll be going up there twice, and then the rest of the meetings are sort of down here. So compared to the other classes, we're not doing anywhere near as much travelling, but still a fair bit on the road.
So you talk about the tracks. We talked about this earlier. I just thought it'd be a good time to move on and share that. Is that, like, I talked about how I used to watch them all the time at Palmy and other tracks on these big tracks, and there was a couple of real bad accidents that happened at Palmy, and then we never sort of saw them again. And you sort of gave a good explanation of things of why we don't see the bikes now on these bigger tracks. Can you go through that again with us, mate, so people out there can understand? Because they all probably think it, why can't the bikes come to my track and I'd go and watch them, or, but there's more factors to it than that.
Yeah, it's a good point. I get asked that quite a lot still. So in my opinion, and everyone's got a different opinion, but I'd say most of the solo riders now would agree that, and the car guys probably, that the horsepower with these sprint cars and all of the cars, the midgets, the TQs, the saloons, the rest of them, and with the solo bikes nowadays, it's near impossible to ride on these clay tracks with like how rough the surfaces are. And the solo bike track surfaces, we've got a clay base with a mixture of like crusher dust and lime, and the car tracks are just solely clay. They might have a little bit of lime in them, but If, for instance, if we went out and tried to ride Palmy like at a sprint car meeting or Western Springs when it was there, or you name it, the rest of the tracks, you wouldn't get around without someone getting seriously injured, as sad as it is. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's just the nature of it.
I suppose, when you think about it, way back in the days, it used to be a thing at the normal SNZ tracks, as an example. We've got Kim Sharpe coming to join us soon from Stratford, and I remember the Nagel families, just as they raced out of Stratford, and like Booker said, he remembers them at Palmy and Miani. But I think you clarified it pretty well, and it's a tough gig, though. It'd be cool to bloody see you out on the big tracks, though, eh? You'd love it.
Oh, mate, it'd be great. So I rode Ellesmere Speedway probably 3 or 4 years ago, and that's a clay track. They race cars there, but that was just on a practice day, and the track was very slick and it was smooth. But yeah, you imagine I went to watch the War of the Wings at Ruapuna and some of the biggest sprint car meetings there throughout, near the end of the season, and the track was deep. Like, the racing was awesome as a spectator for the sprint cars and the midgets, etc. But if you would try to ride a solo on that, it just wouldn't be possible. So unfortunately, that's the way it is. And going back to Palmy a few years ago when they put on the North Island title there, and they actually put 5 ton of lime on it, if I'm correct. I think it was 5 ton of lime, and the boys that rode there said it was really good. I wasn't there. I think I was overseas or I couldn't attend. But if that was the case, if they could prepare it for the bikes prior to the cars, I think there'd be a lot of us that would be interested in it. It's nothing against the clubs or the track staff, because they do an awesome job, and it's hard to get it right for 2 completely opposite styles of racing. So it's just the way it is.
I remember a little while ago, I think it made the New Zealand headlines for a little while. I think might be about 5 or 10 years ago, before COVID. I think they put the solo bikes on some big racetrack up in Auckland somewhere for a bit of a demo a little while back. I remember that a few drivers come from overseas and raced this big, massive, long track just for the hell of it, to have a bit of fun. Is there any other class, going aside from what you do and what you're bloody good at on the solo, any other class in the Speedway that you would think George could jump behind a wheel and have a go at? What would you get into, mate?
Mate, I'd love to have a go in a car one day. I don't know if I'd want to jump straight in a sprint car, to be completely honest with you, but to have a go on a TQ or a midget would be special. It's something I'd love to do one day. I've had a go swinging on a sidecar, and I thought I'd like to have a go on the bars, but no, I think I've made my mind up there. I'd rather be in control on my own. But yeah, definitely love to have a play in a car one day, like a TQ or a midget to start off with, and then. But yeah, it's the same thing, Once you start with something, you gel with that. So but yeah, you never know. I can't answer that yet.
What about a modified?
I wouldn't say no, 100%.
Hey?
Yeah, I don't think he'd say no to any opportunity.
No,
At
I
this
wouldn't.
stage. I might have to give Brad Lane a ring.
Yeah, give him a call.
I
Say, hey, give George a go on your mod. Yeah. So, how did you? What's your background, George? How did you get into riding solos?
To be completely honest with you, mate, I think. Well, I used to go out with my dad when I was quite young. I've sort of ridden dirt bikes from a young age, and used to do a little bit of motocross, and always sort of ridden trail bikes and all that sort of stuff. So through my dad, like, he had some mates through Speedway at Moore Park, where I currently raced for. A couple of their boys rode, and just sort of grew up around it. And my dad sort of always pushed me to have a go, and I was never really interested. I said, oh, no, I don't know, I just want to stick to the bike. I was probably scared of it, to be honest. And then, funnily enough, one weekend I was out in the paddock out at my parents' place, sliding around on the dirt bike, and the old boy said, oh, no, you need to go and have a go at the Speedway. So he took me down to the track, and I actually rode one of the club bikes, which was a XR 100 at the time, an old school, like, upright Speedway bike. And I loved it from the moment that I rode it. So from then on, I think I did a couple of practices and did one meeting on a 125, and then went straight into the 200s class when I was about 11 or 12, and then I've just been at it since then. So thanks to the old boy, it's stuck with me.
That's cool. XR 100. Holy heck.
I remember
Let's go back.
Holy shit.
yeah, bit gutless on the power, but it certainly taught me how to try.
That's where it bloody started, eh? That's how
That's
it all
awesome.
started.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is about you that makes you such a bloody great? Are you a very, very competitive person by nature?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean,
Yeah.
I've always been like involved in sports, like rugby from a young age up until only a few years ago. But yeah, I don't know. I think with Speedway being an individual sport as well, like I suppose all motorsport's individual, but you have to be, eh? You got to want to win, otherwise you're wasting your time, really. And if you're not enjoying it, there's no point doing it. So I've obviously got that passion where I just love riding my bike, and I enjoy the atmosphere of it, like getting to the track and catching up with everybody. And we seem to have well, everyone at the clubs seem to get on with everyone pretty good. And yeah, I just enjoy it. It was a bit different when I was in England because you're riding as a part of a team.
Yeah.
You're still racing for yourself as such, but also your team. So that's a little bit of a different atmosphere. But yeah, I am competitive and I want to win and I enjoy it. So yeah, that's how it is.
Hey, the off season there, I know you mentioned a bit of rugby. Sounds like you hung up the boots though. But what does George do in the off season when it's? Don't tell me you're in the shed working on the bike, are you?
I try not to throughout the off season. Yeah, try and get the bikes all cleaned and tidied up and make sure everything's somewhat ready for the season ahead. Get the engines pulled out at least and get them sent away to be serviced. So basically just work and try and get out on the dirt bike and do a fair bit of trail riding. And yeah, just watch a bit of footy and just enjoy it. It's good. We've just been away a couple of weeks ago with a group of mates jet boating, and then just try and chill out and work and save up some money for the race season.
Yeah.
How important is your fitness when it comes to solo bike riding? Is that a big part of it? I mean, like, shit, it must be a fair bit of work. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it's very important. You got to try and stay reasonably slim. All the top solo riders, throughout the world, they're very small. They're like, if you look at the Grand Prix, like the FIM Speedway Grand Prix, that all the top guys range from sort of like, you wouldn't believe it, but 55 to 60 kilo. You might get the odd guy that's just above 60, but
shit, that's my left leg.
Yeah. But I mean, here it's different because we tend to have quite a bit of dirt on our bike tracks here, so you can get away with being a little bit heavier. But yeah, it is important, like also you want to be healthy as such. So
yeah.
That's something that I need to get stuck back into, closer to the season. But yeah, you want to be fit and well and eat healthy. It's like probably the rest of the competitors throughout Speedway New Zealand, whether you're driving or riding a bike. But it certainly makes a difference. If you're fitter, healthier, you can hang on. I mean, the races are only a minute for us. As soon as the tape goes up, you've got 1 minute. But that 1 minute, when there's dirt on the track, could feel like doing a 15-minute to a half an hour enduro. Like it's intense. It's pulling your arms out the whole way. So yeah, you do have to be physically fit.
So does that contain gym work and all that type of stuff?
Depending on the person. I mean, like prior to the New Zealand title, and then this season I actually need to get stuck back in again. But
okay.
I was more sort of working on cardio and fitness. You want to have a little bit of you need to have a lot of strength about you as well, but you don't want to be too bulky as well because you don't want to be stiff on the bike. So yeah, you just keep the fitness up, and yeah, you want to have a bit of muscle too, obviously.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking to what you're riding on your bike, and it's a lot of arm strength, and I'm thinking to myself, he must eat a lot of spinach in their Popeye arms all of a sudden.
Oh, I don't know about that often.
Hey, big kia ora go now to New Zealand super artist. How you going, mate? Darren Latwood, Loz from Oz. Always good to have you on the show, Loz. Bex Braywood. Craig Cardwell. How are you, Craig? Stiffy's in there as well. Bradley Penn, Bevan Gilgore. Barry Henright as well. Good to have a few of those names popping in there, and we'll give more of a shout out going on through. And so obviously a bit of chill out time and back into it. What are we, August next Friday? 3 months away, mate. Not that bloody far, is it?
No, the year's flying, eh? It's crazy. won't be long before before we're getting back into race season. So yeah, looking forward to it. Hopefully the weather plays ball early on and we can, get some decent training in prior to the race season. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It feels like I've been off the bike for too long now, but it's just the way it is, like with the forecast and where we are. Like I was sort of saying earlier, like we're running we got air fences at most of these bike tracks, so we actually pull the air fences down throughout the winter. So I don't know if I'm 100% correct, but I think we have to wait for a permit and a track license from SNZ. So it's fully understandable. But yeah, hanging out to have a skid and get back into it.
So when you say air fences, for those that don't know, so when we're talking air fence, what are we talking between a normal speedway fence and an air fence? What do we got there? George, can you explain that to people?
Yeah, so obviously most people wouldn't know what they're about. They're basically just at the bike tracks. So it's just an inflatable fence. So like they're mounted onto your concrete or timber fence, depending on how the track's built. But for example, at Moore Park, we've got, and the same at Areti, they've got it's just an inflatable fence. So there's a fan at either end, which inflates the fence. I think they sit roughly 600 to 700 mil off the concrete or the timber fence, and it's just an inflatable fence. So with the speedway bikes, more than the sidecars tend to go infield, but they have been known to hit the fence. Solo bikes, when they pick up grip or take off, they just go straight towards the fence. So it just reduces impact and injury.
Yeah.
Like you can still walk away with a serious injury, unfortunately, but it certainly prevents it a lot. So there's like a metal hook on the top of the fence that's like got a strip behind it, which sort of hooks over the fence, and then there's like a matting at the bottom of the fence to basically stop you from going underneath it, which doesn't always prevent that, but it just reduces impact and tries to stop serious impact. So it's a great thing. In Europe and in Aussie, you can't race anywhere without them. So I think Auckland's the only bike track that you can race without them, and yeah, it's a good track. So we still race there, but yeah, they're not a cheap not a cheap thing to buy either.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine so. No.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because I used to be on the Battle of the Streets promotional committee in Paeroa, and we used to have our street race there, and we had to heavily invest to what you've just spoken about. They're like a big air suction cushion, similar to what stuntmen jump off when they do their flips and land on these big blow-up things and all those type of things. And you're right, mate. They weren't cheap. They come at a huge cost, but they were there to save lives and save accidents. And yeah, they're very, very expensive. Long track racing, New Plymouth, Pukekura Park. Yeah, there was one of those big tracks back in the day. I saw someone put in there, Mr. Holden, somewhere around a track down in Wellington, I see, next to the airport in Wellington. So yeah, it's been a few odd solo motorbike tracks around. Thomas Slater, how are you, mate? Good to have you on the show. Any other last words, George, before we wrap it up?
No, just thanks, guys, for having me on. Really appreciate it. It's yeah, it's cool to talk speedway bikes and appreciate you giving me the time and, acknowledging the award. So thanks very much. Just looking forward to the season. I just want to say a big shout out to my sponsors for all their support throughout the season. So thanks to Helen and Phil Rains, Martin's Concrete Place in Wanaka, Burnside Contractors, Giltrat Spears, who else? South Pat Trucks, and there's loads of people that I'm always going to forget someone, but massive thanks to my dad as well for all his help throughout the season with the bikes and preparation and the travelling. And yeah, I'm sure Barry Bettridge, Autogates Direct, and Certified Engineer Welding. There's loads of people, as I said, I'm going to forget. But yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Awesome, mate.
No worries.
Look,
Thanks, guys.
again, like we said at the start of the show, congrats on everything you've achieved and a well-deserved recipient of the overall Speedway Competitor of the Year 3 weeks ago up there in Auckland at the SNZ Awards. We'll keep in touch, mate, but wish you all the best going forward. And it was really good to see that you get acknowledged in the bike tracks because we were actually at the AGM Booker and I, and there was one special man who did a lot for motorbikes in general, Michael Provis, who became a life member of SNZ, alongside with, of course, a man that Booker knows very well as well, from out of Miani, Davy Jones. But, with what you achieved, and as you mentioned, the night the tracks around for the spikes got recognised, and the top it off with, Michael Provis as well. Cheers, George. Thanks, mate. Take care. Look after yourself, and we'll catch up soon, eh?
Hey, cheers, guys. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
George. There we go. There's a man that's achieved a hell of a lot in his class of sport, mate. And it's some of the things he spoke about, like with the tracks and the bigger tracks and the, is it worth going to do overseas and things like that? It's obviously a tough gig to try and get a ride over there in England where it all happens, eh?
Oh, definitely. And now these days, like everything else we all know, in a lot of sports, not only just motorsports and speedway, but nearly everything's costing an arm and a leg. It's not cheap to do it all anyway. Yeah, we're going to continue on because we started over the last, maybe 2 months ago now. We're catching up with some of the tracks around the country just to kind of say thank you for the season they put on previously and some of the events you may want to look forward to coming up in the upcoming season. We are planning to get down to the South Island and continue on the series with the South Island tracks. But before we carry on, we better get down to Stratford. Kim Sharpe's joining us. Hey, Kim, how are you?
Hi, team. Good. Thanks.
Howdy.
Good for having me.
No, that's all good. Good guy to talk to, George. You would have heard some of that as well, and we're the recipient and well-deserved of the overall Speedway Competitor of the Year.
Yeah, amazing competitor. Really well deserved. So it was good to see him get the awards this year. So great to see a solid bike guy doing what he's doing. Amazing. So well done to him.
What about your background with Stratford? Like we were talking off the show beforehand, I remember coming and watching the Nagel family. Did you ever watch any of the solo bikes down at Stratty's track over the time you've been there, over your years?
Probably not, but I have heard a lot about them. So yeah, they definitely were a big thing back in the day, weren't they?
Yeah, definitely. Hey, let's go to your season. What a season that was. When you think about it, what are we now? Nearly August. So that was about 4 or 5 months ago. And you've got to get your calendar sorted. But, just some of your highlights from the previous season.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a low-key season for us because we obviously came off 6 national titles the year before. But, I mean, it was still a good season. We put something together, which was great. And we did some new stuff, which was pretty cool. We, I guess we reached out to our members and asked them for ideas because you never know what the ideas they've got and things they want to try. And that was a season to kind of do that. So it was pretty cool. So we did a few things. But, I mean, we had 10 of our drivers, podium at national titles. So that was amazing. So we're a pretty solid track around the country. So it's really good. And obviously Carl Ulenberg got 1 NZ in the mini sprint. And he was recognised at the awards as well. So that was pretty cool. I mean, highlights, Scrappers, Stormers. Seriously, Scrappers third, and Palmy, and the Stormers second in New Zealand's, and then, third in Peter Barry's, and then they got first down in Palmerston North in the race down there. So both those teams did amazing last year. So that was a huge highlight. It was really good. We did some good stuff. The street stocks, they did some teams racing. We had South Island team come up and join some teams racing, something we haven't done at Stratford before. So that was something new from the class that they put together. So it was really good to support that. And to have a South Island team travel all the way for something we were trying for the first time was amazing. And they loved it. I think we've got more teams coming this year. So that's going to be back on our calendar. And and we did a lot of stuff for the super stock class. The guys all got together, the class got together. They wanted to build that class up a bit. Tracks are kind of struggling at the moment with super stocks, and they are big crowd pleasers. So you've got to keep them out on the track. So there was a big event calendar put together. But I think the highlight with that was our last meeting when we did Best Pairs Shootout and had a lot of visiting drivers. The drivers had to bring a pair in. And I think if anybody was at that track, they will remember that meeting. That was amazing. And that is definitely going to stay as an annual event on our calendar. And it's pretty huge. And we're just going to build from that. We brought the F2s in. We lost the midgets last year. So we just didn't have enough numbers. So we had the F2s visit us once, which was cool. They want to come back, which is great. West Coast teams, we had that again. We missed that the year before. So it was good to have that going again. And introduction of super saloons. So we had a bit going on. We were sort of a bit quiet in the background, but we still had an amazing calendar and we ran some pretty cool events. So pretty proud of what we achieved, really.
Definitely. Always thankful to come along to the track and enjoy what you put on there. But, it's not just you, that's a whole team effort. There's the volunteers, there are people that commit so many hours to the bloody place. I've seen all your Speedway Awards recently as well, all the photos, everyone looking sharp and rather dapper for the night. And it's in recognition of them, mate. You can't do this whole gig without the people that help support you and everyone else.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're a volunteer-run club,
Yeah.
and when you say volunteers, we need probably 70 to 80 volunteers a night to run a meeting, and they're not, but they come every year. Like, they're so dedicated to Stratford Speedway, they're so dedicated to the sport, and you can't thank them enough. Like, yeah, you say g'day, you thank them over the microphone, but it's not really enough. Like, without them, we can't run, and they just keep coming back, and we're really lucky that we have those loyal guys, and we've got some amazing people on a team, and I think that's the biggest thing. We are a team.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess I sit there, I might lead the ship, but I'm nothing without the people below me. And we're a committee, we're a team doing our thing. And yeah, last 3 years been pretty proud of what we've done, and we're just going to keep building from that. We've got some good events coming up, next year and the year after. So we've got a pretty good tight ship, I think, and it's floating as it should be. It's not sinking, so we'll keep it doing that and keep it floating down the sea. So yeah, we're happy with where we're at the moment, which is good. And seeing a lot more visiting drivers come to our track, which is awesome, because we kind of lacked in that a little bit. So I'm hoping people out there realise that we do run a good meeting, and that they want to be there and be a part of it, because we're always welcoming visitors to the track, because that's what our spectators want to see too.
You still got that little guy with the flags? You still got that little kid down the side?
Yes, we do, our little main man. He's going to be a flagman in the future. Don't tell Richard that though. But he's amazing. Comes to every meeting. I was talking to his dad the other day, and he was like, "Can you just start the Speedway season?" He's ready to go. Like, but with the amount of rain we're getting at the moment, it's probably not going to happen. So we need the place to dry out a bit.
Cool. Just going through some of these comments here. Only Ams looking sharp there, Kim. Wayne Odden saying hello as well. Darren Latwood. Peer shootout was awesome. That's Dave Young. Hey, Paul Mason, how you going, mate? And yeah, like you mentioned, you've got the super stocks there. The GP's coming up.
Yeah, we do.
That's going to be huge.
Yeah, 9th, 10th of Jan. And I mean, just before New Zealand's, which I guess some people have probably, even the competitors are probably going, oh God, really? But to be honest with the super stocks, where do you fit these dates? Like, there is so many super stock events out there, and Wellington obviously wanted to use Wellington anniversary for their New Zealand's. You kind of get that, so we just had to slot it where we could, and hoping we get good support on the GP. Like, I guess we've got New Zealand's super stocks next year, so like, if these guys, everybody that comes to Stratford, not everybody, most people say it's a pretty unique track, and if they want to race it, they've got the GP this year. Come and join that, get some track time before we run New Zealand's next year. And yeah, we're hoping to have a really huge event with that. It's going to be a big one leading into next year.
Yeah, pretty well dominated by one family, actually, father and sons out of Woodford Glen last season from memory, and a proud moment for that family who builds race cars books. Hey, you remember that one, mate, and what they're going to do at the GP will be rather interesting. So you can actually register and get ready for all of that. Is that all online, Kim, at the moment, or when does that start? When does all that start happening? Okay.
Not yet. It's not quite there yet. We're just putting our ducks in a row. Like we said, our calendar, we're hoping to get our draft calendar out beginning of August. So once we get that out and things done and get our ducks in a row, we'll definitely get the registrations going. I mean, the entry forms aren't up yet on Speedway New Zealand either, so they've got to put them all up and get them rolling. So as soon as that's happening, we'll be into it. But yeah, it'll come around pretty fast.
Yeah, it is coming around quick, isn't it? But is it any news or any more talk about the? A while ago there was a talk about the new track being built and stuff like that. Is that sort of what is that something we can talk about, or is that something we don't want to talk about?
Look, I mean, there is obviously the Stratford Park umbrella, which has got, a big motorsport division inside of it, which we're included in, plus Equestrian and AMP Association. Yeah, it's still tuning behind the scenes, everything. These meetings, I'm on the board, I'm on the steering co, I'm on like quite a bit of that, so it keeps me pretty busy. But I guess it's all going to take time. It's still there. It hasn't disappeared. We're trying to, as Speedway at the moment, trying to figure out our position within that, whether that is a new track, whether that's staying in the current situation we're in and building, what we've got to make it probably into the 2025s instead of stuck in the 1980s. But we're getting closer. I can't really say we've got where we need to be yet, but we are getting closer to see where our future is and what's entailed for Speedway. As for the park side of it, yeah, there's a huge plan. There's a big dream there. There's a long-term plan, but it all comes down to money. And unfortunately, at the moment, the one thing that we know that's not in this country or in the world is money. So it's still there. They're not, the dream is still there. It's just little feet to how to get there. So, but the main thing for Stratford Speedway is to figure out where they sit in it so that we can start doing what we need to do. And I mean, like, the grounds we are in, it would be good to, if we were to stay there, to do some work on that and make it a lot more modern. We need new club rooms, we need all that sort of stuff. But until we've got that secured and know where we're at, or if we're staying or going, we can't do anything. But all we can do now is run great meetings and make sure our crowds keep coming in and enjoy what we do.
I must admit, I enjoy going to Stratford and where it is right now. I mean, I'm sort of old school. I like everything staying the same. So, and you just upgrade where you need to upgrade and keep that history and you know, a part of it all. You know, like it's
we're very retro. We're very retro, unique and retro.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it there, and both times that season we came in, kids come up a couple of times, and just love the place. Really good hospitality as well. So. That's something that makes it more inviting every time you want to go back, you know.
Absolutely, it's not. You can have the flashes buildings, but you can run a shit show, I guess.
Exactly.
So, reality is, as long as you feel like you want to come back, and you feel like the meeting's been run well, and the supporters are sitting there and had a great time and got some good entertainment. Well, that's what it's about, really, isn't it?
Yes, 100%.
And I like how you structure yourselves around the financial for patrons to come in to enjoy. I liked it. I remember when we spoke when we first caught up there, and how you did that in different tiers and whatnot. It's a real good concept to make sure it is an affordable evening for families to come along to enjoy. Tell me, is local government in your area, the council, involved with a lot of the stuff that's going back and forth? Because you hear about it at Western Springs. All of a sudden, some billionaire thing fell apart. At the moment, Bay Park's going through it. They've got till 2039, so congrats to all of them down there. So you're kind of in that balance and amongst all of that, because at the moment, I don't think those people kind of reflect on nostalgia, all that type of stuff. And where's things sitting with them?
Well, we're really lucky. Our council's very supportive of Speedway.
Cool.
And, they understand what Stratford Speedway brings to Stratford, let alone what it brings to Taranaki. So they're very supportive. We're very lucky, and they want us to have a long-term future. So as much as they're not a part of the Stratford Park, they're certainly in the background being supportive to us and being supportive to the whole project to make sure that everybody gets the best outcome.
Oh, there you go. So if you're standing for a candidate in the local council down there, you know, it's election year this year. I know that for a fact. And if you want to get their vote, keep the Speedway there.
Voting.
Yeah, you want their bloody vote when it comes to the elections. I know it all closes soon and how it all works. So make sure, you do the good thing and look after Stratford Speedway and give the tick of approval if you want to sit there and make decisions on their behalf. But let's talk about the upcoming season. We briefly covered over the 19th for the GP. What other big events? The fireworks is always a huge occasion for the families. Any of that kind of you can share at the moment, or everyone's just got to hang on for their calendar?
Well, that's going to be early November, so that's kind of and it's always kind of that first week of November, around about that time. Huge meeting. Always good if we can get that one. It was a bit touch and go last year with a bit of a rain, but we managed to get it through, which was cool. Boxing night obviously is huge. Unfortunately, last year our boxing night was rained out, so we're hoping that's not going to happen this year, because that was a huge meeting lost. And then we've got 31st of Jan, not long after the GP, we've got the New Zealand mini sprint. So obviously Carl will be defending his title with that one. So that's pretty cool to have that at home. And New Zealand Saloons, which is very exciting, which is the 20th, 21st of February. So cool to have those guys at the track. They always put on a really great show. So the saloon class is building up. So it'll be, hopefully we get good numbers throughout the year to sort of work towards that February meeting.
Yeah, they all need to get ready to talk to me that weekend too.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
We'll let you in the gate. You'll be all right.
Gee, thanks.
Oh, kick him out the blood. Make him walk all around the pits too.
Oh, we will.
When is their books?
Sorry, what was that? Yeah, February. I had to put it in my calendar because Jason rang me. So, do you want to help me? I said, okay.
Yeah.
You're going to go through to that now, are you, Kins? I've got to give you our calendar anyway, mate. So you got to see where we're heading.
yeah, definitely. I might whiz around, pop around, and I'm definitely going to be there in a couple of years for the big championship. I know that much, but we'll keep that a bit under the radar at this stage. But cool to see everything's all working out well. And what else can you let us know, Kim? Any other things that we need to know about what's going on there? And like you touched on the retro side of things with the track, and I want to give a big ups to Blair Eulenberg, who brought that retro of his dad's car look when he went down to Battle of the Stocks. You know, that's where that started. We've been driving there, pushing that with, I think we spoke to Scott Tennant to pop out an old classic look of his dad's car days back in the day. I'd love to see that happen. You know, bring a bit of retro.
A retro
out.
New Zealand's made at Stratford 2026, I reckon. And you get a prize for the best retro car. Hey, how cool would that be?
That's in nobody's calendar, so we'll be able to do that, won't we?
Hey, yeah, no one's ever done a retro New Zealand's. How
Please
cool would
do
that
it.
be?
You know,
Hey?
Always taking new ideas.
oh, you could turn up in retro. You imagine turning up with the old demo
Oh, yeah, the
gears,
cars
eh?
and spectators turn up in retro, get a
yeah,
10%
retro.
discount through the gate. There you go.
There you go. Come, me and Booker will turn up with
Hey.
a mullet. We'll be in a
Hey.
good old mullet.
Forget about that weekend in Miami. It'll be bloody New Zealand's in Stratford, eh?
Retros.
Hey, instead of the old retro, or what do they call it now? Miami. I forgot what they call it here in Hawke's Bay. Name's gone out of my head. They all dress up like the old days and bring the old cars and.
Why
Classic.
not? Well, because you actually have those. I remember when we were down there, actually, you had the old cars sitting out there with the modifieds. I remember that. And then
Yeah,
Booker had the
Oh, yeah,
opportunity
got chucked in the deep end.
to interview some of their legends. And, mate, with the event you got coming up in a couple of years, there's plenty of legends that represented the S out of there in the cars they bloody race. That's going to be a cool event. I can't wait. Yeah, let's do a retro thing, eh? Let's
Art
do it.
Deco weekend. That's what I was thinking of. The Art
Oh,
Deco
yeah.
weekend in Napier. Forget about that. We'll do bloody retro Speedway weekend in Stratford.
Yeah, we'll play Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath. There you go.
Good old Aussie. It'll work, won't it? It'll work. It'll be classic.
We can all be singing Paranoia together, going hard out. Eh? Dun, 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 dun. No, we're just into it, have some fun. Great vibes. Amanda McDonald, 100% right there, Amanda. It's always a good vibes. Mike Johnson, Speedo would be nothing in the sport without tracks like Stratford, Miani, Wanganui. 100% on board there, Mike Johnson. Good track, good things happening there. And anything else you want to allude to before we let you go, Kim?
Oh, no, I just think like hopefully when the calendar comes out, everybody will see some really good things in there and want to come and see them and join, support the track. So, yeah, I mean, we're just working behind the scenes to make sure we get a really good, exciting season this year. And yeah, like I said, we'll just build from that to what we've got coming up in the season after, because we've got a big couple of years ahead of us, which is awesome. And yeah, I'm sure we're going to certainly crack whatever we need to do and make them the best they can be. But yeah, it's just cool. We've got some members coming forward and got ideas, and I think that's really good because at the end of the day, we're not racing on the track. They're racing out on the track, and if they've got ideas and stuff, we're really keen to support that. We can't maybe do them all, and sometimes they don't 100% work, but like we said with last year, there's 2 events that happened last year that will become annual events, and without giving the members an opportunity to do that, we wouldn't have had those things out on the track. So it's really cool. It's not, like I said, it's not just about the committee. It's not just about that. It's about everybody. We're a team. So just want to make sure that everybody feels like they've got a voice and been heard, which is cool.
Awesome.
Only positive stuff, though. Only positive stuff.
That's
Love
it.
that. That's our show.
That's
our
us.
show.
Only positive. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No room for negativity in this
No.
world.
No. Definitely not. But there you go. You got all the sponsors. Go and check out their website, stratfordspeedway.co.nz. Everyone that's recognised that sponsors them and everything to do with the sport. So there's a whole list of people there. Go and support them locally, but also those 70 to 80 volunteers that make it work on a race calendar night as well. Kim, always good to see you. Look after yourself. Keep busy, and we'll catch up again trackside sometime soon, eh?
Before I go, I just need to do a shout out. We've got 5 Star Liquor as the naming rights again this year, so they've stayed on board. So
Awesome.
it's really cool to have those guys on board, and I know that I'll be touching base with a lot of people who are going to be sponsoring in the future. So really want to say a big shout out to our sponsors, as you talked about. Do support them because they support us, and we need to give back to those guys because we're nothing without them.
100%. 100%. Yep.
We'll see you there when you do the retro round, eh? Books and I will be there.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when it's happening. Thanks for having me.
See you
Thanks,
there.
Kim. Have a great week. See ya.
See ya. Always good to catch up with Kim Sharpe from Stratford Speedway. Always fun to have a chat with her. And yeah, it's a team effort. She's right, just like every other track that we've spoken to over the wrap-up of the seasons, which have been just awesome for a lot of the tracks. And you can't do it without the volunteer base. So if you want to volunteer yourself to your local track, go put your hand up and have a bit of a chat with someone that's associated with the track. And why not help out? Because that's what makes things work during our Speedway season. 92 days, I think, from memory, someone put up in the chat. Big shout out to everyone that's joined our show. George Congreve, overall Speedway Competitor of the Year, gave us an insight to solo riding, how good he is, and Booker gave you the full list of everything. His trophies aren't actually where he is, they're in the race shed and everything like that, but what an awesome man to talk to. Kim is our books. That just about wraps up our show.
Yeah, Wayne Odden's just put 12 weeks, 3 days. There you go.
Of course he has.
But just remember one thing, people, the most important thing to do this season of Speedway is get your backside trackside, because you putting your backside trackside's what keeps the Speedway going and helps the clubs keep going. So make an effort, pick your tracks, pick your meetings you want to go to and get there. Go sit down, enjoy a hot dog, feel that dirt in the face, dust in your hair, and just enjoy it, because it is such a great sport to be a part of. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the new season. I can't wait. We'll do our normal build-ups for everything that we're doing. We're still working out our criteria and what we're doing and what tracks we're going to. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. We won't be doing our interviews in the square at teams this year, because I'm being a slacker and I'm not going to Teams Champs this year. But Kinser's going, but we will be doing our build-up. So, I don't know, maybe Kins can join Stu and Mike maybe in the square. But I won't be there this year for teams. I'm going to go and enjoy the Burt Munro in Invercargill. So
Nice.
something different for me this year.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Got to do that. Get around and check it out. There's more to it than just a one weekend event. I know what you're going down to for in the lower South Island. You're going to have a ball down there. Hey, just wanted to, once you get to Speedway, please don't turn up with some random and give them a hug. Everyone knows about the Coldplay cam. All right, you don't want to be that person that got caught out.
I don't know how the hell something like that got viral. It shows you how pathetic and stupid Facebook is. I'm sorry, but to everyone going off about two people having an affair, who gives a shit? Seriously?
Oh, it was funny.
That's wound me up, mate. Like, people are like, oh, he shouldn't have done that. He's such, get over it. People have affairs all the time. Who cares?
Funny. But don't get caught at Speedway just in case.
Yeah, don't put your arms around someone.
Yeah, someone gets around. You know, it's quite okay, but oh well.
I can't see the point in being bloody lovey-dovey in public anyway, mate. So
I'd love
whether you're with your wife or not.
Yeah, no, it's such a funny bloody thing. Shit. Anyway, they go on those, wasn't it, my atmosphere or some bloody shit like that. Anyway, enjoy your weekend, everyone. Have fun. Don't get caught on the Coldplay cam. We'll see you later. Okay. Bye-bye.
Hang on, I got to find my mouse is gone. We can't leave yet. I can't find the button. We're still here, people, because books is useless. Okay, team, have a great week. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy.
Holy snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bump and Run Booker, George.
I'm excited for another great show tonight. Give it the hoot now.